My name is Jayla Taylor, and the name of my brand is Jayla Taylor. I started my brand when I was younger. I was inspired by my grandmother. She used to hand sew, and also on top of the fact that my mom would buy me clothes that I did not like. So I was like, okay, let me alter them my own way. So I started off doing it that way, and then my mom encouraged, she saw like the talent that I had. She was like, this is something that you're really good at. And then I just was like, okay, I'm gonna go to art school for it. Went to art school, and then that's when I grew to really love fashion. I would make clothes. I started making clothes when I was about 10, and it was okay. And then once I went to art school, my craft just elevated, and then I just became really great at what I do, and I just love fashion. So that's what brought me to becoming a fashion designer. So my collection I was showing in Paris Fashion Week 2024 is inspired by architecture. I feel like a lot of my pieces are inspired by modern architecture. I love the asymmetrical shapes, the interior designs as far as like the spiral staircases. And I always seem to like apply that to life. So I like what I take from the architecture is like the structure and the foundation. And I'm always curious. I'm like, how are they making these nice angular shapes? And how is it staying? And I've applied that to life. It's like life, you always have to have that structure and foundation. So I apply that to my designs today. And I use that structure and foundation from the modern architecture, and I apply it to my looks. So a lot of my looks, like I have a look that you'll see that has like, it wraps around the neck, and I was inspired by a spiral staircase. And a lot of them, like the asymmetrical shapes are inspired by just like how some of the housing look in today's modern designs. My brand is inspired by timelessness. I like to make pieces that will always, like, whether it's 10 years from now, whether it's 15, I always want to make sure that it can always be worn. So, like, this piece that I made this like 3 years ago. And a lot of people are like, oh, wow, like, you made that like 3 years ago. And a lot of the pieces I made like 10 years ago. And I like, again, to have this timeless. My advice to the younger designers just starting their careers, never give up. And I know you're going to always hear that, but coming from a designer that I always have those moments where I'm like, like, I don't know if I want to continue. This is so hard. Financially, it's a lot, but keep pushing. Because whatever you invest your time into is going to be time, money, and you're going to be stressed, but that doesn't mean anything. Like, don't let anybody discourage you from continuing being a designer, because that is your passion. You have to do it no matter what. Times are not even easy.